Welcome back everyone to episode 3 of our My Team Career Mode in F1 2021. In today's video we have the Portuguese Grand Prix. So the first thing we are going to do is the activity timeline. So the first thing we are going to do for 2 days is the reaction training for our second driver for 2 days. The second thing we're going to do is for 3 days we're going to do the second driver PR filming. We have 4 more days left. We are going to do aero team building, and for the last 2 days we are going to do the marketing strategy to get some more team acclaim. So now let's go into the R&D to upgrade our car. Okay guys, in the R&D section you can see that we are in front of Alpine and behind Aston Martin. So now we are going into the powertrain section, and you can see we had a upgrade field, which is the spark plugs. It is still going on for the Portuguese Grand Prix, and you can see that we have the best engine compared to everyone else. So we are going to have a way better engine than Mercedes and everyone else. So going into the aero department now, you can see we have badge board, which is 516 resource points, and we are going to do it because the Spanish Grand Prix has a very long straight, so we need some straight line speed to reduce the drag. So that is going on for the Spanish Grand Prix. So now let's go and advance the time for the Portuguese Grand Prix. Okay guys, advancing the time now for the Portuguese Grand Prix. So the second driver PR filming went through, so we get some team acclaim and money.
You're not currently in a rivalry. Sooner or later, you'll probably be asked by the media who you consider to be your rival. Think carefully who you select, as while you will receive acclaim for beating them, you'll lose acclaim if you fail to do so. Our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car, ready for the next race weekend.
Okay guys, you can see our parts went through, and you guys heard that we have to choose a rival in the next race, which is going to be very exciting. So see you guys for the Spanish Grand Prix. Okay guys, our last run on the soft compound tires in Q1. You can see we're going up to the line now, and you can see Gasly went fastest at 118.5 and we go on P2. But at the end of the session, we have dropped down to P10 right behind Pierre Gasly and in front of Alonso. And we have 8 tenths off the fastest lap by Sergio Perez. But our teammate though dropped out in Q1, so he has a lot of work to do in the race to come back up into the points paying position. But in Q3 you can see we had a purple sector 1 and a green sector 2, and we are 9 tenths up in the last sector. Going up to the line now, you can see that we are P4, 500ths off Pierre Gasly with a 118.3. And at the end of the session we are P10 once again behind Pierre Gasly. So we have made it into the top 10 shootout. And it's Sergio Perez once again with the fastest lap with a 1.17.4, and we are 9 tenths off him. So let's go into the Q3 for the top 10 shootout. Okay guys, in the last sector in Q3 and our final and last run on the soft compound tires, going up to the line now, we had a very good sector 1 and 2, but up to the line now, you can see we did a 118.1, and that's right behind Lando Norris, and we are 3 tenths off Valtteri Bottas' fastest time, and you can see Max Verstappen went faster.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Hamilton, Verstappen and Sergio Perez. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Okay guys, you can see at the end of the session we have been bumped down to P8 behind the Lando Norris and in front of Pierre Gasly, and we are 9 tenths off the fastest time by Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes. So I'll see you guys at the starting grid for tomorrow's race at the Portuguese Grand Prix.
The Formula One circus has made its way to the southern coast of Portugal this week, and it's preparing for what I expect to be a terrific race here in So Portugal features 15 turns over the course of its 2.9-mile length. 9 are right-handers, 6 are to the left. And this is a track with a lot of uphill action, which only accentuates the importance of getting those exits right, especially at turn 4, where a good line can present opportunities to pass on the way into turn 5. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. And it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Perez, Bottas, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Norris, King, Gasly and Daniel Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel and Ocon, Stroll, Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi and George Russell, Armstrong, Latifi, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Yes, Jeff, that's the plan, to get some points in this race. So we are starting P8, and the strategy that we will be using is soft to medium, then to medium. That's what our engineer says to use, so it sounds very good, so that's what we're going to be using. Okay, so let's start the race. So clutch is in, 5 red lights, revving up the engine. And we are on the way for the Portuguese Grand Prix. We get a good start right alongside Lando Norris, but Sergio Perez goes up into P4. And now we are behind Pierre Gasly and behind Carlos Sainz, but we go right down the inside of both of them up to P6 behind Leclerc and Sergio Perez. And behind us is Daniel Ricciardo getting past Pierre Gasly. So the two McLarens has fallen back. And now we are up to P6 behind Leclerc. So going a little wide because our tires are still pretty cool, but we are using the rest trying to stick with Leclerc because they are already looking like they are pretty fast, because they are already pulling away from us. 7/10 to Leclerc. But we get a very good snap of understeer up the hill, and they're already losing DRS on the cars up ahead. So Daniel Ricciardo is behind us and Sainz, so our Ferrari and McLaren is behind us. And you can see Lewis Hamilton is the one leading this race. Behind him is Max Verstappen, then Sergio Perez, then Leclerc, and then us. And then behind us has Daniel Ricciardo and Sainz. So the end of lap 1, you can see going around the fast right-hander, we are P6. So going up the hill, Lewis Hamilton with the fastest lap, we 1:21. And that is the fastest lap of the race so far. So on to lap 2 now. You can see that we are behind Leclerc still, and they are still 1.1 seconds in front of us. Behind us is Ricciardo and Lando Norris. Get up to P8, so he has moved up some positions because he would fall off the pack. And now Lewis Hamilton again with the fastest lap on to lap 6. Going around, I think this is when we are coming into the pits. No, we are not. I think this is our in lap, and you can see Lando Norris behind us, 2/10 coming behind us, and he goes to the overtake with DRS, and he goes right along past us. We cannot do anything, so we are trying to fight him back because we need to try to stay in front of him before we go into the pits, but we are unsuccessful. Going up the hill now, we are kind of struggling with the tires, and we almost lost the back end of the car using DRS, but we are still in this race. Lando Norris is in front of us, and Daniel Ricciardo is behind us with Carlos Sainz 7 seconds behind us. He has fallen off the pace significantly. So going up the hill now behind Lando Norris, trying to stick with him. You can see that we are really struggling in those low speed corners because our tires are used out and very old. So trying to stay with him. This is our in lap, so we are going on to the medium compound tires on lap 7. I don't know if the McLarens are going longer, but I'm going in this lap and hopefully I get an undercut on Lando Norris because we are not getting past him because we are going in this lap. So in this lap we are going, so going around the fast right hander. Down as you can see, Lando Norris is already pulling away 8 tenths because we do really have good tire wear. So into the pits now. Let's see how fast our pit stop is going to be. So we are going to be coming out. I'm not sure where we are going to be coming out, but into the pits now. You can see Vettel and everyone's up on Stroll. A lot of guys passed me and we get a 2.7 pit stop. So pretty good pit stop, but not the fastest. And we are out of the pits now, behind Giovinazzi and in front of Latifi. Latifi is on the hard compound tires, so Latifi looks like he's going to the end of this race. So in front of us have Giovinazzi and our teammate Armstrong, 3.3 seconds ahead of us. So let's use these tires and catch up to our teammate. So in the start of lap 9, we are behind Giovinazzi and our teammate and Russell. So we are going trying to get an overtake on Giovinazzi on this lap. We are right behind him using DRS. Going down into the hairpin, we go for a late dive down the inside on Giovinazzi, getting the overtake done. Now we are behind our teammate Armstrong, 5 tenths in front of us. So going around and look and see Giovinazzi's trying to get us back up the hill, but he made us go a little bit wide and he's going right down the inside of us, getting the overtake done. So we are trying to use our ERS to stay behind him, and we're going up the hill in the tricky right hander and we go for the switchback and we get a very good exit, going right alongside him in the fast left hander, and we made the overtake right around the outside. So now our teammate is up and we almost lost the back end of the car, and now Giovinazzi is trying to get us back once again, but we have got a very decent exit and now we are behind our teammate Armstrong and Russell up ahead on the hard compound tires, 1.5 seconds ahead. We almost lost the car twice on that lap. So using the DRS now, catching up our teammate. You can see Giovinazzi is still behind us. He's still on very good soft compound tires, so trying to go right down the inside of our teammate on this lap. We're trying to not get hold up at the moment because those guys has never pitted yet, so we are trying to stick with it. So up to P15 now, behind George Russell in the Williams, and in front of him has Kimi Räikkönen. So let's see if we can get George Russell, but in the fast right hander you can see how much time George Russell is losing on those hard compound tires. We are on the faster compound of tires, so using the DRS, trying to go right around the outside of George Russell into the hairpin, and we have cut him off. So now we are behind Räikkönen. We go right around the outside of him, almost hitting him. And we have get a very good exit because we are on fresh medium compound tires. So now we are behind Daniel Ricciardo in the McLaren, and in front of him has Lance Stroll on soft compound tires. So as Jeff said, it was a very good move, and yes indeed, because we had a really good overtake around the outside. But on lap 40 now in the middle sector, you see Ricciardo has pulled away from us, and we got a penalty, a 3-second penalty for going off the track for exceeding track limits. So we are getting a penalty, and you can see our tires are kind of dead because we are kind of sliding around the track. So behind us is still Kimi Räikkönen on 3.9 seconds, but now we have a penalty to deal with. So So on the end of lap 18 onto 19, we are going to check the
No
weather
threat of
report.
rain for the time being. Conditions looking good. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Okay guys, you guys heard Jeff that rain is not forecast at the moment, so we are sticking on dry
Gap to
compound
teammate behind
tires.
is 35.0
But my engineer
seconds.
had said that rain might be forecast at the end of this race, so we might be going on to the inters at the end of this race. And you can see that we have less fuel at the moment. We are 0.05 under fuel at the moment, so hopefully that doesn't affect us, because we will have to do some fuel saving in this race. But at the end of lap 19 on our in lap, this is our in lap, on going in for medium compound tires on lap 20 to finish the race, going in for 13 laps. You can see that we are seeing if our car has any damage at the moment. So we are keep on going. We are still behind Lando Norris and in front of Daniel Ricciardo, because Ricciardo has pitted on that lap. Ricardo is on the medium compound tires, and we still have the 3-second penalty. So into the pits now on lap 20 into 21. Going into the pits, we'll have to see how much men passed us, but hopefully it's not a lot. So Daniel Ricciardo goes past us now, and you can see Tsunoda goes past, and Sebastian Vettel and Ocon. So into the pits now, we're going. And we have a 1.9 second pit stop, so that's a world record in real life. 1.9 seconds. So that's a very good pit stop from the team. So coming out in front of Stroll 4 seconds, and he's on the hard compound tire, so he's going to the end, and I am also going to the end. So we are P11. So we are very close to Ocon. He is 5 seconds in front of us on the hard, so we are going to catch Ocon in a few laps to get into the points paying position. So on the end of lap 24, 4 laps after, you can see now we are behind Ocon 6 tenths. Using ERS, we only have a little bit of ERS. We are running out of ERS, but we are using DRS now, getting up to Ocon, catching. And then under the straight, we are right behind him. So we are going, and we go right down the inside of him, because he's on the hard compound tires and he's holding us up.
Nice work, that brings you up a place.
So now in front of us has Sebastian Vettel, 3.1 seconds in front of us.
Okay, gap ahead is 3.1 seconds.
As Jeff said, 3.1 seconds. So we have to pull away 3 seconds from Ocon, which we have done. So now in front of us has Sebastian Vettel, and you can see that we are low on fuel, so we might have to do some fuel saving on this race. So we might have to stick behind Sebastian Vettel and use his DRS to help us fuel save, because we are low on fuel and we have only 4 laps remaining in this race. So we have to try to stick in front of Ocon 3 seconds and stay in Sebastian Vettel's DRS to make sure that we do not fall back into Ocon. So still fuel saving. This is our second to last lap, and the end of it into the final lap of the race.
This is your final lap of the race.
And we are 1.1 lap down on fuel, and we are 4.6 seconds in front of Ocon. So we are still behind Sebastian Vettel getting his DRS. But no, we lost his DRS in the final, that corner, we lost his DRS, so now he's just pulling away with his DRS, and Ocon is catching us by a lot. And you can see Max is starting with the fastest lap, and he already wins the race. And you can see Ocon 3.5 seconds behind us, and we still have our 3-second penalty, and we are still low on fuel. And Sebastian Vettel has pulled away 1.6 seconds. So we just have to be pushing, using the ERS. We have to keep on pushing, because Ocon is 3.1 seconds behind us. We are trying to get into those points paying position. And he's got another penalty. Oh my god, we have 6 seconds worth of penalty now. It doesn't make any sense. How we get our next penalty? So it doesn't make any sense racing anymore, because we have fall out of the points, because Ocon is already 2.1 seconds behind us, and we are still low on fuel. But up to the line now, it was been a very disappointing race because we could have scored so much points, but we have come home in P11.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
And that's it then for the Portuguese Grand Prix, and what a sensational victory they've managed to pull off here. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today and the results speak for themselves.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work and they should be proud of the victory they secured here. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Let's give it to Esteban Ocon. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
Let's move on to the constructors. Red Bull pull further ahead in the standings. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
What a drastic end to this race. We have came home in P11, which has been a very disappointing. We got a penalty on the last lap of the race, putting us back into P11. But it's been a very exciting race. Max Verstappen wins the race, Lewis Hamilton comes in P2 and Valtteri Bottas completing the podium. So we have dropped down to P5 in the driver's standings, 55 points off the leader, which is Max Verstappen. And in the Constructors' Championship we dropped down to P4, 84 points off Red Bull. It's been a very exciting race. We should have been scoring points today, but I hope you guys enjoyed the race. I will see you guys for the Spanish Grand Prix. Hopefully we bounce back. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next video.